Amanda here from Create with Scrimping Mummy. So I am a self-confessed scrap hater. I hate scraps. I don't have time for them. Once I've finished my project, quite often if I've got scraps and I've completely finished all the projects I'm going to make using that paper, I will save the large pieces, obviously, and scraps, I'm afraid they go in the bin. Now my go-to for getting rid of scraps, and I will do this and then throw them in the bin, I don't just throw everything in the bin, is dies and punches. Okay, so for example, I've got these two scraps here. I'd cut some little mini envelopes and make these. Okay, or I'd punch some shapes and use them to decorate. But what if you don't have suitable dies or punches? What can you do with leftovers? And these are quite small. So I'm going to challenge myself today to make something using these scraps without dies and without punches. So get comfy, grab a drink, and let's see what I can come up with. It's going to be difficult because I hate scraps, but let's see if we can make something pretty. Okay, so I've been in my cardstock scrap box and I've cut this small card. So I make a lot of journals, can turn this into a journaling card. Now the idea that I come up with, you can expand it to a card front. You could take the idea and add it to the corner of a journal page, like here. Okay, there's lots and lots of different ways. Doesn't have to be on a journal card. So what we're going to do, right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my trimmer, and if you don't have a trimmer you could just do it with scissors, and I'm going to cut myself some, what, 1/4 inch, just over about 1/4 inch, because I think that's going to be nice and dainty for the size. And I'm just going to cut myself some strips. And the idea that I've had means that I could make several using up this strip method. Okay, all right. And I'd get this small piece and I'd cut these strips, and I would sit and I would just keep making something that I've come up with over and over until I've used them all. So I'm just going to get these two coordinating papers and I'm going to do the same again here. So 1/4 inch. Obviously you can do larger, fatter ones, but I'm cutting mine small so that it's in proportion with the size of card that I'm using. Okay, so let's just keep going so that I've got plenty. And I am going to be using as well some leftover embellishments that are left over from my recent kit, which will often get thrown in a basket and probably never see the light of day again. If you don't have embellishments like this, you might have some stickers, you might have some stamps, and you can just stamp an image and cut it out, colour it in with either alcohol markers or watercolour pencils or whatever you like, and you've got yourself an embellishment. So I'm going to do, that one's a bit wonky. Let me just turn them over so I can see which is which. So I'm going to start with this one, I think, shall we? I might start with the gingham. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add glue to the end, and I'm going to stick it, and I'm going to protrude over the edge of this card. And I'm only gluing the end. Far too much glue there, Amanda. I'm too heavy-handed with glue, always. Okay. And I'm just going to tack it down at the end there, and I'm going to get another one and I'm going to do the same, and I'm leaving a gap, leaving a small gap. There's no specific width. My idea is to fill maybe 1/4 of this on the incline. Okay, as I say, you can take this idea, you can make the strips wider, you can, you know, adapt it for a card front, a journal page, a tag, anything. Okay, I think I'm happy with those 3. Yeah, I think 3 is enough. Then I'm going to go with my contrasting, and I'm just going to glue it at the bottom, and we're going to do the same process, but we're going to start here, and I'm going to just peek it over. Okay, and then we're going to weave. Very, very underrated technique. I haven't invented it, obviously. Weaving's been around since, I don't know. I mean, I am a historian, but I don't know everything. I just like to think I do. Sometimes. Okay, so that's that one. And then the next one, we're going to go... Sorry if you can hear my dog. I'm not torturing him, he's dreaming. He's having a doggy dream, so he's barking whilst he's asleep. And then weave under there. Can you hear him? I wonder if you can hear him. I'll have to see when I watch it back. And then we're going to do another one. Okay. And then I'll show you how we finish it off to make it interesting, especially, you know, if you're into journals or, well, to be honest, the technique can be used for anything. Okay, so we're going to go under. Stick on, you slippery little sucker. Okay. I'm just making sure I've got quite even spacing, or I'm not going to worry about it too much. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually just tear these. So I'm going to start, the bottom one's going to be longer, so I'm just going to put my finger there and I'm going to tear it. And I'm going to go a finger width above, tear, and then another finger width and tear. So you've got staggered rips. And then we're going to do the same here. So we'll go tall down to short. Okay, so I might have to wake my dog up. Bless him. Rip, rip, and rip. Okay, so then at this point you can just hold it there, just lift them back. Little dots of glue, you don't need a lot. Okay, smooth it down. You don't need to worry about gluing the whole strips and getting in a big strippy mess. A big gluey mess, sorry. Just lift these back and dot of glue there. Dot of glue there. And a dot of glue there. And then we can smooth those down. Alright, and then grab your scissors, turn it over and trim around the border of whatever you're making. And you've got yourself an interesting little background. Like I say, that would look cool on a journal page. So let's have a look what embellishments I've got. I quite like this. I think my embellishments might be a little bit large for this card, but can you see where I'm going? How pretty does that look? Instant journal card or decoration. Got my little envelope here. I could put that on. No. I've got my little ladybird. I think I do like that. I think I do like that. So for just a little bit of extra added interest, I'm going to do some stamping. Okay, I'm using archival because it's permanent, acid-free, waterproof, and I find that it doesn't smudge. I'm using a random stamp. It just says the world needs more of you. So it's just like a little bit of an affirmation. And I'm just going to try not to get my head in the camera. Stamp that across the top. Okay. Add my little ephemera piece. You could leave it like that. It's super cute, but I'm using up my embellishments. Add my embellishment, and I've got myself a little journaling card. Now I am cheating because I did make one earlier, so I did know what I was doing. I have to plan things, otherwise I ramble. So I think those are really lovely, just from strips. Tiny, tiny strips. And I'll sit and I'll use these strips up now. I won't sneak them in the bin when you're not looking. Absolutely, guide's honour. I hope that helps. I hope it gives you a little bit of idea of how you can literally use your paper up until it's completely gone. Have fun, take care, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.